the last lot swearing in are taking their oath today, the 15th day of May 2025. Now, a little later on, we'll be having a conversation with the Honorable Bicham David Okwere, that is the newly elected MP of Bukedea, to talk to us in regards to now that the campaign promises are done. What next for parliamentary action? But for now, good morning. It's a Friday. Thank God it is a Friday. TGIF. That time, as if the week started on Monday. The week started on Wednesday officially for many people. But still, for as long as we know that we're taking that rest, well-deserved rest at that, it's one thing to look forward to. It is Good Morning Uganda, and you are watching UBC TV. We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. My name is Julie F. Nataba with Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono on this beautiful Friday morning. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, Julie, and of course, our viewer. I must say, of course, cameras cannot get certain things, but my workmate today, she has surprised me. She's extremely smart. And I don't know if she got something to do with the swearing in, but if you looked at her footwear, it's extremely great, good, and expensive.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do the Rugambo for our viewer. That what you can't see, kaba we kaba and tebali bubi. Hey.
Very interesting. Anyways, Robert, what are you looking at? What's exciting you throughout the week so far? A week that for us obviously started on a Monday, but for our viewer, for most of our viewer, it started on a Wednesday. But what are those stories that you've been looking at?
First, the Patriotic League of Uganda's decision.
Yep.
Retracting their decision is a story that has made the week and will make next week as well.
Yes.
Because we want to see exactly, will this have an impact? What is that final say that the chairperson of the PLU talked about that they are awaiting? Two, yesterday there was a meeting of the president with the two former and current speakers. And now, that of course has made a lot of headlines. I saw one MP-elect attacking Honorable Kabanda coming up and saying, I'm just a messenger, even if it were the current Speaker of Parliament. And actually was sent by the party chairperson.
Not just one MP-elect, but another member from the PLU also was spitting fire on social media regarding Honorable Kabanda. And the person who was spitting fire actually is Frank Gashumba. And indeed, he was spitting his own fire as the MP-elect on the other side is also spitting her own fire on the internet, all regarding Honorable David Kabanda.
See, these things come two ways. One, for me, the MP-elect from Masaka, I would understand what we call loyalty. When someone stood by you.
When you needed them the most.
When you needed them the most. And they even took you to places maybe you would have never gotten there. It is only human, given her character, to stand out. I don't blame her. Honorable Kabanda, no offense. You know, you're reading a statement given to you.
By your leader.
By your leader. I mean, sometimes after we took all as Ugandans and you wonder, what level of understanding are we?
Perhaps it's as they say.
Because it's like blaming Honorable Tadong, to the right Honorable Richard Tadong, if he came and read a statement. It's like blaming me if I'm reviewing a paper, a newspaper, that this and that. So that's the story of the week, because it's still even having more. Then definitely the swearing in of members of parliament. One thing that only comes to my mind, members of parliament now sworn in, and those that are going to be sworn in today, the excitement, the vigor, the energy, the money you've put in for your after-party swearing in parties, please help us and break the curse that we have on our parliament regarding absenteeism.
Thank you very much, Robert, for pointing that out. The other thing I think that stood out for me, or for me it was more of a place of reflection. I kept on looking at the color, the aura, the beautiful aura of honor that the members of Parliament, now 12th Parliament, displayed And that which is beautiful. And of course now getting into the after parties. And the whole time for the different MPs who I saw through after parties at very, very expensive hotels, I kept on thinking, the electorate who actually made that happen are not even there to celebrate with them.
Some have not taken parties back to their constituencies. They're holding them here, inviting friends and all that. Maybe later, you never know.
Maybe later, but I hope, I hope, do you know that it's very significant for you to deny yourself that party and take it to the people who actually put you in that place? It speaks volumes of your service, it speaks volumes of who you are going to be to them and represent them in the August House, because you're there because of them, at least in the first place.
But for me, what hurts me is when Parliament passes a bill, the President assents to that bill, it becomes law. Then later it's challenged in court for lack of quorum.
Right.
Do you think about that? Lack of quorum.
I do agree with you.
I first thought that it was space that refused, that's why I don't have these MPs. But on the sovereignty bill, where they want to be, they are there. It was filled to capacity. When it came to this coffee, was it the coffee amendment bill? The House was packed.
Was full, yeah.
When it came to the anti-homosexuality bill, the House was packed. So these people, it is not about space. They deliberately, all attendance on committees and plenary is not their issue, because also our voters want them in their constituency. And MP will tell you, for me, coming to Parliament and attending burials, attending church, being with the drunkards in some drinking places, socializing, keeps me in Parliament than when I come and sit there. So sometimes as we blame them, we also must know, how does their business work?
Interesting. And as the day goes by, I hope we do get some time, Robert, for you and I and our viewer to chew on what we expect with the 12th Parliament, what the 11th Parliament has felt like. On social media, I was reading a comment where someone said that the 11th Parliament has left us with PTSD. Well, those are conversations that we'll definitely be chewing on as the days go by, now that the 12th Parliament has officially started. Official notice swearing in today. And next week, it will be the war for who will be the Speaker for the 12th Parliament. But on that note, Robert, let's take a trip down to what the local scene has for us.
Well, we now have a Deputy Chief Justice.
Right.
President Kaguta Museveni appointed Moses Kawumi Kaziwe as the new Deputy Chief Justice, filling a position that became vacant following the elevation of Flavia Azei about 3 months ago, according to the statement issued by State House on yesterday, Thursday. The appointment forms part of plans to strengthen leadership within the judiciary. Justice Kaziwe, who has been serving at the High Court, he's been serving at the Court of Appeal of Uganda and the Constitutional Court, now assumes the second highest office in Uganda's judicial system. In the new role, he will deputize the Chief Justice and support the administration of justice across the country. In the same communication, President Museveni also appointed Her Worship Agnes Alum as Chief Registrar of the High Court. She replaces Sarah Langasu, who was recently elevated to the position of High Court Judge. The Chief Registrar oversees court administration and management of judicial operations, making the office central to the efficient delivery of justice. Justice Kaziwe was first appointed as a High Court Judge in May 2016, the same period when Chief Justice Nzija also joined the bench. The two have since risen through the ranks to occupy the top leadership position in the judiciary within a decade. Before joining the applicant court, Justice Kaziwe served as a resident judge at the Mubende High Court Circuit, where he was credited for spearheading legal reforms, addressing case backlog, and promoting public management initiatives such as court open days. Day 2 of the swearing-in ceremony for members of the 12th Parliament witnessed more calls for economic empowerment, especially among the youth. The legislators want the stakeholders to embrace the government interventions to grow the economy through collective participation. However, this can be achieved through policy changes which align government actions within the needs, welfare, and the voice of the citizens. President Museveni praised China for what he described as decades of strong partnership and support towards Uganda's development and economic transformation. The president made the remarks while meeting Mr. Langso Jamkan, the special envoy of Chinese president at State House Entebbe. His visitor delivered his president's congratulatory message following President Museveni's re-election and reaffirmed China's commitment to strengthening bilateral ties with Uganda. President Museveni thanked China for opening its markets to Ugandan products through zero tax access and noted that many Chinese companies are now investing in Uganda. The meeting also touched on regional and international issues, with both sides emphasizing dialogue and cooperation in promoting peace and development. The outgoing Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has called on the newly elected members of Parliament, especially for Mawogola North, Aine Kaguta Sodo, to work for the unity of Sembabule district after months of political tensions. Relatedly, the outgoing Speaker of Parliament, together with Bukedia members of Parliament, also pledged to work as one team in delivering services to the people of Bukedia in what leaders described as a rare show of unity in the district. These were celebrating the success into the new terms. And Julie, that brings us to the end of our local stories this morning. It was very interesting seeing leaders of Sembabule. You know, Anifa Kawoya, then the other who said, I've sworn so many times, and I'm sure even in this cabinet, I'm going to be, you know, I love politicians. I love their confidence. I love their joy. At times, you know, when campaigns ended, some have shown that transformation, that, well, it was campaigns. We had verbal artillery, but now we must continue with life. And I credit all those politicians that have had that.
As they say, politics is a dirty game, and if you are just a mere electorate, you might as well go slow.
May I call it it's a clean game? The players are the ones that make it dirty.
Oh, well. I've always wanted to hold that idea, but then you realize that however clean someone is, they'll find themselves between a rock and a hard place.
Okay.
And before you know it, there's a lot of compromise in there. Anyways, let's have a look at what the foreign scene has this morning. And we're starting off with Donald Trump, who is due to meet Xi Jinping for a final round of talks as the U.S. president wraps up his state visit to Beijing. Earlier, Trump said Xi had committed to withholding military equipment from Iran. In an interview with Fox News, the U.S. president also said China wants the Strait of Hormuz open again and that Beijing had agreed to buy oil from the U.S. While Trump talked a lot about what he got from China, he refused to elaborate on what China wants in return, writes our international reporter. And on Thursday, Xi had held U.S.-China relations, calling them the world's most important, while Trump said talks were extremely positive. The White House earlier said trade, oil, and Iran were among the topics discussed during the high-stakes meeting that lasted nearly 2 hours, but deep differences remain on tariffs and export controls. Now, moving on, Andy Burnham will attempt to return to the Commons as MP after Wes Streeting resigned as Health Secretary, saying he had lost confidence in Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's leadership. Burnham, the great Manchester mayor, said he would ask to run for Labour in Makerfield after Labour MP Josh Simon said he would resign to make way for him. Any candidate in a Labour leadership contest to replace Sir Keir Starmer must be an MP. Streeting called for a broad debate about what comes next, but did not say he would run for leader. Speculation has been rife over Sir Keir's future as leader following a disastrous set of election results for Labour last week. No leadership challenge has been triggered. Earlier on Thursday, former Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, also seen as a potential challenger to Sir Keir, said she had resolved her tax affairs with HMRC, announcing he would stand down. Simon said he believed Burnham could drive the change our country is crying out for, quote unquote. Barnum said he would seek people's support to return to Parliament in order to bring the change we have brought to Greater Manchester, to the whole of the UK, and make politics work properly for the people. He added, not take a single vote for granted and would work hard to regain the trust of people in the Northwest constituency, which Labour held in 2024 with a majority of 5,399 votes over Reform UK. Reform leader Nigel Farage said the party looked forward to contest and would throw absolutely everything at it after giving Labour a drubbing at the recent council elections in the area. Barnum was blocked by Labour's ruling National Executive Committee from contesting the Gorton and Denton by-election in February, which Labour lost to the Green Party. The BBC understands that Sir Keir will not seek to block Barnum from becoming the Labour candidate in Makerfield. An ally of Sir Keir said he was focused on bringing the party together so it can tackle the issues facing working families. The by-election date is yet to be announced and depends on when the government triggers the formal process. And from Africa, Nigerian film star Alex Ekubo died after a battle with cancer, his family said. He passed away on Monday in a Lagos private hospital due to complications from advanced metastatic kidney cancer. A family statement on the actor's Instagram page said he was 40 years old. Ekubo was best known for his roles in The Weekend Getaway and the music video titled Johnny by Yemi Alade in 2013. He had won many awards and accolades for his work in the entertainment industry and humanitarian efforts. A member of the Nigerian Guild of Editors told the BBC his death had left the association in shock. Tributes have been pouring in from fans and friends in Nigeria's film industry, known as Nollywood. Ekubo's family said that he had died after a brief but courageous battle and have called for privacy and prayers as they mourn his death. Throughout this difficult journey, he bore this pain with remarkable strength, unwavering faith, and enduring hope, believing that one day his testimony would be shared with the world. The family added. News about his death began to spread on Tuesday, with many fans and colleagues expressing their shock. Rest in peace, Alex, fellow actor and producer Funke Akindele posted on social media. And that brings us to the end of what we have on the foreign scene. It's such a heartbreaking story when you see young, prominent players, you know, in the name of influence or in the space of influence, pass away prematurely. Just like that. 40 is so young, so young. But may he continue resting in peace, especially if you've been watching most of the Nigerian movies and you've watched him deliver his best talent at that. Robert, what do we have on the within the dailies today?
Oh, there is so much regarding the swearing in of MPs.
And of course, we can't miss the fashion statements in there.
But first is President Museveni appoints his appointments, the Chief Justice and of course the Chief Registrar there. Then President Museveni meets, that is the Chinese envoy. Still, the New Vision talks about obese Ugandans at risk of cancer. Also check your weight, check how you then Kabale chimpanzee elect new leader. There's this thing of chimpanzees. The one we had the chimpanzee war, you remember? Now there is electing a new leader. You should interest yourself. Now, the New Vision, we have how various MPs stand up for the swearing in. We have this Rasta man, you know the Rasta MP? Jonah Musira, the MP Bururo East.
He's Rastafari, that's his religion, right?
I don't know, but at least most of the times I enjoy him.
From the way he expresses himself, I think
and even he was swearing, he didn't hold a Bible.
What did he hold?
I can't tell what this is. At least, well, now we look at fashion. I want to tell you Brenda Nabukenya, woman MP Ruwero. Ooh, she nailed it right. Then also Aisha Naburo, Sironko, district woman MP, she nailed it right. Not to say that others were not smart, but I think now I saw our female MPs or wives to MPs also referred to as first ladies. Definitely not. No. But their spouses, they moved away. Some are moving away from the traditional wear, the Moshanana, the Gomeses, and they are going Western, and some of these ladies looked extremely smart. Not to say that those who were in traditional wear were not smart, but when you look at some copped the late Queen of England, that wonderful dressing, and I really liked it. The Vision has so much of those pictures. Now we go to the Daily Monitor. Who is the new Deputy Chief Justice? Kaziwe. Well, the Daily Monitor answers that for you. Now, inside Museveni Amongi meeting. I wonder, but the Monitor says they have something that transpired there. Now, benefits of members of parliament will get, we have medical, health insurance for MPs and family members. Judy, those are now settled. We move to tablets.
I wonder which family members their health insurance covers. But
at least there is one I know who has 3 wives. And then,
so each wife and their children, right?
I don't know if that also works on that one. Has 3 wives. In the campaign, at least all the 3 were seen at the after party of swearing in. One dominated the first wife. Now, for that, how does Parliament handle that? Then tablets of 2.5 million. Free iPads worth 2.5 million. But in this day and age, why would a member of Parliament, why do, they can't buy these?
I know.
Why do we still have to?
Why should a taxpayer's money, because Robert, you and I pay taxes, why should our money buy you a
Most
tablet
of these guys
if you
have
can afford it?
iPhone 16.
Right now,
Max,
many are getting into 18.
Many are getting into 18. They have Folds 7, Fold 8,
Some things don't make sense. Anyways.
Then travel, 2.6 per DM for travel abroad per night. Okay. But I remember one time we had MPs, I think they were robbed some years back for sleeping in a funny hotel, yet they were VIP. So this travel abroad, 2.6 million, of course an MP is an MP. Now, 315 million, each member is entitled for a vehicle worth 315 million. With this man of vehicles, I have no problem. Let them get this money. The only problem is some don't buy these vehicles, or they buy something cheaper. Why? Because if we are to buy vehicles for these people, and the government is the one servicing them, then because they are government cars, even giving them drivers, servicing, mechanic, repairs and all that would cost government so much.
Interesting.
So if we give them 315, go buy a car of your choice, don't disturb us, we want you in Parliament.
Anyways, looking at
but you dare buy a parcel.
Everything away from Uganda, looking at the Daily Nation representing Kenya. Political thunder, that's the headline from the Daily Nation. And on there is a showdown. Officials projected a 65% voter turnout in the election to replace Johanna Ngeno, who died in February. And that's the stories to look at. More pain at the pump as diesel petrol prices jump. Not even skyrocket, but jump. 2027, Sifuna headache for Ruto United Opposition. Now let's have a look at what the Gazette has as of the 15th day of May 2026. The Gazette has its table of contents as always, but the notices to pay heed to, we do have a place to celebrate marriage that is being recognized. The church is Chihunda Full Gospel. It's a born-again denomination church. Kagongi and Chihunda Parish in Kagango Division Sub-County. The country is Uganda and the district is Shema, given under the hand of the Honorable Norbert Mao as of the 16th day of April 2026. That is the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs. And the other place of marriage to take note of is SDA Church Kasambira, and the denomination is Seventh-day Adventist Church Village in Buwaguma, and the parish is Nawantumbi. The sub-county is Nawanyago, and the county is Buzaya in Kamuli District, given under the hand of the Honorable Norbert Mao, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, as of the 12th day of October 2022. And the other notice to pay heed to is that it is hereby notified that exploration license number EL00283, registered as number 003731, has been renewed in accordance with the provisions of the section 48 by Sumter Mines and Minerals Uganda Limited, PO Box 36857, Kampala, Uganda, for a period of 3 years. And effective 29th December 2024, the exploration area subject to exploration license is 206.69 kilometers squared and is on topography map sheet number 19/2, situated in Arua, Zombo district, dated the 17th day of April 2026, under the Honorable Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, Central Minister of Energy and Mineral Development. With that being said, let's have a short break. And when we get back, it's another conversation to delve deep into as we learn and relearn, even when it's a Friday. But more so, definitely looking forward to that feed a little later on, connecting to Parliament as the 12th August House officially starts and the last lot officially. So
today they're ending the swearing in.
They're swearing in, yes.
Then the starting is with the voting of the Speaker.
That will be next week.
Then that's
but according to the
Constitution,
according to the Constitution, the day they start swearing in, it's marked as the day they start.
Okay.
Right. Let's have a short break. We'll be right back.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
njagala mbere wa bodde bandabe bagambe mubedde ndikafululufulwe lwankutte ndimukowu naye nga najjudde njagala endongo ekwadde ekigere mu ttaka nsodde gamba
be sworn in today. The excitement, the vigor, the energy, the money you've put in for your after party swearing in parties, please help us and break the curse that we have on our parliament regarding absenteeism.
Thank you very much, Robert, for pointing that out. The other thing I think that stood out for me, or for me it was more of a place of reflection. I kept on looking at the color, the aura, the beautiful aura of honor that the members of Parliament, now 12th Parliament, displayed, and that which is beautiful. And of course, now getting into the after parties. And the whole time, for the different MPs who I saw through after parties at very, very expensive hotels, I kept on thinking, the electorate who actually made that happen are not even there to celebrate with them.
Some have not taken parties back to their constituencies. They're holding them here, inviting friends and all that. Maybe later, you never know.
Maybe later, but I hope, I hope, do you know that it's very significant for you to deny yourself that party and take it to the people who actually put you in that place? It speaks volumes of your service, it speaks volumes of who you are going to be to them and represent them in the August House, because you're there because of them, at least in the first place.
But for me, what hurts me is when Parliament passes a bill, the President assents to that bill, it becomes law. Then later it's challenged in court for lack of quorum.
Right.
Do you think about that? Lack of quorum.
I do agree with you.
I first thought that it was space that refused, that's why you don't have these MPs. But on the sovereignty bill, where they want to be, they are there. It was filled to capacity. When it came to this coffee, was it the coffee amendment bill? The House was packed.
Was full, yeah.
When it came to the anti-homosexuality bill, the House was packed. So these people, it is not about space. They deliberately, all attendance on committees and plenary is not their issue, because also our voters want them in their constituency. An MP will tell you, for me, coming to Parliament and attending burials, attending church, being with the drunkards in some drinking.
And income tax. How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
I know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akantwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. a belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900, at the dawn of colonialism? 2. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1962, at the sunset of colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obote II, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today, and why?
For more than 2 months, the hashtag Visit West Nile trended on X, formerly Twitter. A flamboyant team of social media influencers led by Uganda's most recognizable face in the field of tourism and hospitality, Wekesa Amos.
West Nile was not part of Uganda until 1914, and many Ugandans in general don't know that bit of it. And that time Congo was specifically an asset of King Leopold.
I am proud to visit West Nile with our fishing lodge. The lodge is found in Ajumani district in West Nile, Uganda.
Embarked on a farm trip to visit West Nile.
I think our visit up to Ara actually is going to change about what the world thinks about West Nile.
I must say, people of West Nile are very loving people, because when I went to Ajumani, to Arua still, it was the same energy. Coming to Ajumani and seeing the love they're expressing. So they want you to come and visit. They have been always telling me to come and visit Ajumani so much.
To visit West Nile is to wake up every early in the morning to strategize.
Okay, now, the next part, I'm just going to set up for a shower, and then, yeah, you guys are going to be waiting from outside there. You are not needed here, so you should go. Go, 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 go. You've had enough. Go, 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 go.
To visit West Nile is to hike to the summit of Mount Ochi.
Ashoki says, lonely at the top. But guys, we're not lonely at the top. I'm here with Classic and the amazing Alex here. Yeah, 2 hours in West Nile is taking over. So one advice, why should somebody drive 400 kilometers to come this side and tour?
To visit West Nile is to taste the most delicious Hawaiian pizza.
Wow! Guys, forget all the pizza you can eat in Kampala. Look at this.
To visit West Nile is to listen to a true son of the soil who carries the pride of Madiland wherever he goes.
Lodge actually as a social enterprise for transformation, for skilling, for cultural exchange, for building communities.
To visit West Nile is to harvest from garden to table.
For more than, I think, 5 weeks, we're going to be telling captivating stories, hiking mountains, talking to influencers, and having what we call the very best of the good life.
My name is Drago. Join me as I take over West Nile.
Across Uganda, the parish development model is paving the way for prosperity, helping families transform their lives through strategic farming practices, like the 4-acre model.
In our Chibaro of 1996, we said first acre, put coffee. Second acre, fruits. The third acre, you put pasture for dairy cows. The fourth acre, for food, cassava. The good thing is that now cassava is also becoming a very good cash product. but at least for food. Then, mind you, the backyard. You put poultry for eggs, you put piggery.
I'm in a 1 acre plot of land. In this 1 acre, Your Excellency, I practice this banana plantation. I also practice coffee. I also have dairy, Your Excellency. Every month, Your Excellency, I get 500,000 from these bunches.
The 7 activities we recommended, they have a big global demand.
We have 10,000 Nile tilapia fish and 10,000 African catfish. And when we sell our 10,000 tilapia, we get in one harvest 20 million shillings.
Fruits, especially capsule, which is cold, can do very high value crops like apples. And then finally, those who are near the wetlands, like the ones in the Bukit who are wasting the wetlands, they should do fish farming, not in the center of the swamp, but at the edge of the swamp.
From coffee farms to fish ponds, the 4-acre model is empowering Ugandans to transform their lives. The parish development model is your pathway to wealth creation. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
For the last couple of years, we've been running the show for the fans, with the fans.
Baby, you don't have to try to read my mind, 'cause you know I wanna get it in.
We've been bringing you the vibe straight from the studios to your living room. We've unveiled a lot of talents, made many stars. And hey, we are not about to stop. Catch the hottest performances, your celebrity interviews, and the most authentic entertainment news stories of the week. And hey, we also do some mentorship, so come and be part of the hottest live audience.
There's no vibe like.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza, Commissioner.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. It's a Friday, and we're looking into everything that is majorly regarding Parliament. Now, one of the issues that have troubled most of the August houses is absenteeism in Parliament, and it's what we want to chew on this morning. Be part of the conversation, 0709-602592 by WhatsApp. And of course, engage, share your 2 cents on that. My name is Julie F. Natava with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Now, absenteeism in Parliament remains one of the major concerns despite several interventions introduced over the years to improve attendance among legislators and ministers. This includes signing in with a biometric system, and across previous parliaments, including the 9th to the 11th Parliament, speakers have repeatedly raised concerns about poor attendance, with some parliamentary business being adjourned or disrupted because of the absence of line ministers and members of Parliament. So in order to help or probably shine a light to the 12th Parliament, let's dig straight into this. And Robert, I'll bring you in with just a simple question. Sounds simple, but might need perspective to it. What exactly does it mean when we say absenteeism in Parliament?
Thank you, Judy. And of course, our viewer, we don't take you for granted waking up every morning with us. Now, members of Parliament are supposed to report for duty. We have the plenary and, of course, committees.
Right.
Now, many of these MPs, or some of those MPs, are not seen anywhere. They're neither in plenary, neither in any committee, because at least every member of Parliament is allocated to a committee. Now, you'll find that they don't turn up. However, I was also told by someone that we even have smart ones who come and clock in and move away.
Can you imagine?
That's why we had a scorecard, or rent and scorecard, by David Procor in some Parliament. This scorecard would show, would look at attendance, participation, and all that, but they fought it because some were shown. It was always publicized and it was seen everywhere. Now, this era of social media, who didn't participate, who wasn't there in Parliament, who did this, you know, that's, so they fought it because it was exposing them as people who were elected to come and represent people.
How exactly was it fought? Because it's supposed to, they're accountable to us.
Well, David Procol, it was more or less like a non-government organization or civil society that had come up with this. So it wasn't within the systems of Parliament.
Right.
Like a preso or something like that. And remember, voting for a member of parliament is very easy, but withdrawing him from parliament as electorate is very hard. Getting about 1/3 of the people who voted for him is not very easy. So that's why most of the times you have to wait for the 5 years to expire. Katulinde emyaka 5 gigweko anaatulaba.
And then you take them back.
Then you take them back, or that is when you express the fact that they didn't serve you and you drop them. Now, we've seen bills passed. The president has sent to them. Later on, someone goes to court, challenges them that there wasn't quorum. The number required to pass this bill was not enough. So in passing it, there is something they didn't look at properly. And when you see UBC does Ugandans justice, because we have House in session.
Right.
And you can look at these sittings and see how empty. Plenary. You can look at if our producer could show you some of the debates in parliament on TV here as we are speaking, if he could bring us clips, you would see very well how these chairs are empty. These seats are empty in parliament. Just any bit of any parliamentary story, you're going to see that they are really empty. Very few members of parliament. No wonder one was saying, why do we always system with you? But I think also the speaker looks at who are these people who always attend.
Right.
And he or she, because we have been having the deputy, will concentrate on also ensuring that she gives them, because there are those that I know that are always persistent. Every time you see a story of parliament, you see parliament in session, they are there. But there are those you will never see. Now, I was asking myself, what could be the cause? Why don't members of parliament attend? Why don't they do their work? Because they were elected to come and represent, away from the oversight role, away from passing the budget. These were supposed to get our problems, get views from us, bring them on the floor, take them, do this committee work. But if they are not there, why? One member of parliament I talked to told me, Robert, you need to know how business of parliament works. Okay, if I'm not in plenary, I'm not in any committee, I'm not outside on official work. Because also one of the interesting things in parliament are trips. You know, when you get these trips, they come, of course, with good per diem. For example, if I'm going to Kenya, and if each night is 2.6 each night. If I'm there for a week, if I can get official duty for a week, how much money am I coming back with? If I'm going to the US or anywhere. So even they scramble, these are privileges. So some, we believe we accept they go for official duty. So they may miss sittings. Some may have some benchmarking in neighboring countries, or even some work, committee work. Look at the parliament I'm talking about. Now tell me, where are the rest? You see the speaker there? That happened in the 9th, it happened in the 12th, it happened in the 10th. I remember the late Jacob Olanya one time became very upset with them. Said, we are cheating taxpayers, we are cheating our bosses, the voters. Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, when speaker, she became furious. I think one time, Annette Among, the current, one time,
she adjourned parliament because there was no quorum. Yes,
there's no quorum. So with that high level of absenteeism, will we see the same in the 12th parliament? Now, I was trying to find out, what are the causes? So one member of parliament told me, Robert, what you, the elite, think is not what the voter wants. That the voter, Julie, does not want to see you in parliament discussing issues. No, the voter down there, his interest is, if I've lost someone, has my MP been around to console me? Because even you who has lost a person, it brings, what would I call, respect in society. For example, if I lose my father, God forbid, and my area member of parliament comes for the burial, basebo ne bannyabo twagala mwanirize omubaka w'ekitundu kyaffe azze onakuwalirako wamu naffe. Nyonyintono was strong. the son. Even the area member of parliament came to bury the father. Now if Nyonyitono is influential there, my member of parliament, he was made at Segona, but now the one I have is Mago. Anyway, I'll get to know him much more better.
Is it Magola?
Whatever, I'll get to know him much better. If at all he's functioning and working sensible like Segona was, because of course Segona, he was a pillar in one or the other. So, now Honorable Segona cannot come to parliament when an influential character like me in the community have lost a father. He would rather come for my burial, my father's burial. So this one was telling me, understand how parliament and politics work. The community would want to see Segona on my father's burial than seeing him on the floor of parliament deliberating. And that would give him more votes when he comes back. Said that is one. Two, functions. Buganda, there is a function in Uganda, Kabaka's birthday, this, you know what they call Oluwalo? We did Anchimachigwe. MBC and Karu, you know Oluwalo, there is, for Buganda, there is a way these communities collect counties and then they take to the king.
Okay.
Now, they want to see their MP. MP was not there. Now, we have speech days. We want to see our MP there. Okay, those come on weekends, usually. So he told me, an MP, Baba Mulonda, the voters, we want to see an MP on the ground drinking with us, and not in these expensive bars. If for us, we want to show our MP by 4 he's there.
Right. Now, Robert, with that put to perspective, how serious do you think is the vice? Because then what happens to all the members of parliament that have been consistent in attending, you know, the sessions, parliamentary sessions, and have served parliament for years, have served in parliament for years? What are they doing that others are not doing? And how serious is this issue?
Now, there are two areas of concern. One, how well knowledgeable are the people you're representing? I want you to look at the 11th parliament. With all the technicalities that were in the elections, I call them technicalities. With all the challenges, the most good debaters, some have not returned. For me, it is going to take me so long to believe that the likes of Segona, Semuju, Matthias Impuga, who else was there? Abdu Katuntu. You know, that for sure, these people have not been in the 12th parliament. So one, it depends on the knowledge of your people, but also what you promised them. What are they going to hold you accountable? Two, we may think some of these members of parliament are not attending because they're in constituencies, but also, Judy, I want to tell you, what are you going to say? The bad thing is this Proko report was not there. Are you aware they could be members in parliament who are in the 11th parliament? Some never returned. I'll give my good friend, is my OB, Mukasa Rosias. If we go on the answered, we have members of parliament who couldn't have finished the 5 years without attracting the hand of the speaker at least 10 times.
And you know, using the example of Mukasa Alozias, he was very active on ground in terms of being amongst the electorate. Those whose property has been burnt, he was really, really active. But then on the floor of parliament, he was not as active. Now one would wonder what did not take him back, and yet in the midst of the electorate, he was a common
But
figure.
also ability to debate and deliberate issues on the floor of parliament. That's why you see most journalists that have gone to parliament are doing very well. Joel Senyonyi.
Right.
Look at our Lop. When he's speaking, I concentrate. Uganda, sorry, is not coming back.
But he has done well.
He has done tremendously, in my opinion. Away from his sometimes extreme of attacking, you know, and language, and sometimes going overboard. But now, what are you going to say on the floor of parliament? You see, you have doctors, you have professors there, and the higher the monkey climbs, the more it exposes its behind. So some of them, it is safer not to be on the floor because you're not going to be seen. I remember we had this MP, I don't know if he came back, who spoke American English.
Atkins.
When he would stand up one time, one MP said, please, can he go slow?
Because we don't understand.
You remember? Because you don't understand. So, and the problem is we don't have these translating machines in parliament. Because international conferences I've gone to, they have those gadgets.
Right.
That maybe one would speak in their own language or whatever is happening. Because I know some members of parliament, I won't mention names. Julie, they are very fluent in their local language. You listen to them on talk shows, on radio here. They can break down a bill for you on radio. You know, one of the things I like for me is listening to radio talk shows. Most of those that happen, political talk shows and TV. But if it is in their language, Madam Teacher, my friend, these people are very articulate. They will explain on the floor of parliament. Sometimes there are challenges. So some, and then Honorable Senyonyi, I'm sorry to use him so much, but I follow him so much. He one time said, you're given these bills and what to read. To read. Then come, read, go do research, come and deliberate. Now, if you've not been in a profession that requires constant reading, like we are, that you have to read, understand, because you're going to host someone on that, and you don't have that reading culture for you, and then you're in parliament, you may not read, you may not research, therefore it becomes hard for you to say, I'll even raise my hand for the speaker.
To attend to matters of the generals, where generals are speaking. Now, in your perspective, why do you think it's becoming normalized? I mean, it can't be the same thing 9th, 10th, 11th. Where should the line be drawn? And how possible is it that it should not be, it is normalized? Why is it normal? Is it a thing of Ugandan culture? Does it expose Uganda's leadership styles, society's culture?
There's an English word called complacency. Look it for me, the definition of complacency in the dictionary. What does it mean, being complacent? Complacent is you get used and normalize something. You can look it out there, its definition. When someone becomes complacent, I think as Ugandans we've become complacent. We've normalized, we've become okay with it. There is no punitive action that has been taken previously. It's a normal thing. The late Jacob Olanya will come, speak about it, very furious. May his soul rest in eternal peace. The former speaker, Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, talked about it, expressed dissatisfaction, anger at all this. Now, Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa did the same. The Right Honorable, the outgoing Speaker, also Anita Annette Among, did the same. Have you found out?
Well, the meaning that it states here is a feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements.
Now for us as a country, that's where we've gotten.
We don't have a critical satisfaction.
Okay.
We're comfortable.
We know our members of parliament don't come. You know, we've accepted it.
And we are moving on. We
are moving on. We know we have, I don't know who are going to dominate the 11th parliament, but at least, sorry, the 12th parliament. But we knew, and people would always say, But how come so-and-so is the one always we are seeing speaking? How come, God forgive me, Rab Semujuganda's name out of my mouth. How come it is that person? How come it is Katuntu? How come it is Segona? How come it, okay, Senyonyi as leader of opposition, he has to. How come in every parliament, we had the likes of Winnie Chiza. You know, in every parliament, we've had those shining stars.
Right.
And we have had those, I don't know, your constituency, I don't know how, your member was Mukasa Lozias.
I know, he was neighboring Rubaga, but it's Serukenya.
How often?
Honorable Serukenya.
How often?
On the floor of parliament, I don't think I'd ever seen him on the floor of parliament.
And he's going to, now, there is one MP of Mawokota. This was a musician replaced by Honorable Mary Achambade. I don't, maybe when it was this bill of artists, maybe he came up. Honorable Geoffrey Rutaya, that one I saw once. I think. Yes. It was somebody, the coffee bill. We can mention many of these members of parliament.
Right.
So we've, that the electorate, leave alone the likes of Rutamaguzi, but also Rutamaguzi on the floor was not that very vocal. He was more on the stairs on talk shows, radio cameras. Talk shows, TV talk shows, but on the floor of parliament, where it matters most. So we've had quite a number, and as the electorate, we are okay, we are comfortable. For us, our man, he's with us. he, in sorrow, in good and bad times, our member of parliament is with us. And now also the other problem, Julie, let me tell you, that has come up is that, and what the 12th parliament should work so much at, people not to lose hope in parliament.
Which they already did.
When you hear electorate say, the things those people pass, let me even use the Uganda term, abo bibaisa ani abibatuma. People wondering on some critical bills. The eyes have it, the eyes have it. And the electorate are wondering, but for sure, that which was passed. When people are asking, who did you consult on that particular? Now, you must ensure that Ugandans every day continue to trust and believe in parliament. Not just saying this parliament has worked extraordinarily, we've passed so many bills, we've done this. Yes, but have the people felt part of what you've been passing?
That's why when we started this conversation, I made mention of conversations going on X, where Ugandans, quite a number of Ugandans are saying that if it's feeling how they should feel about the 11th parliament, for them it carries a lot of post-traumatic disorder, stress disorder. PTSD.
Because as long as people do not feel that what you're passing are their views. Now even have Ugandans, most of the youth, you know, for me I'm a local leader in the LC system. So I sit with these people daily. Right. I talk with them. You even hear some who will tell you, even if we vote them, you know? So the 12th parliament has a big challenge of rebuilding trust and confidence among the electorate. Not just going and giving the electorate, you find youth, Nobaguride Mipira, jazzes, then you put tournaments for goats, chickeny, bulls, and, you know? No. How do we build public trust that when we say parliament has passed this, the people of Uganda can say, yes, we have. Let me give you an example. When it came to the anti-homosexuality bill, I don't know if there was consultations, but Julie, Ugandans were in sync. Ugandans felt that indeed they had passed. They had been with the members of parliament. So how does the 12th parliament, that when we know there is anything discussed there, and I think this 12th parliament, these issues of going for consultation should be done better. Because you've had some bills where even MPs have been facilitated to go and do consultation. But how do you do your consultation for people in your constituency to feel that really you did consult them. Oba sente mulyandye ne mujja ne mwogera ebyammwe. I'm just asking. Because if you've been given, for example, 5 million for consultation on some controversial something, you've not gone to church, you've not gone to mosques, you've not held rallies, you've not now, because at least you should have accountability. That yes, on this day, I went to these markets, I asked police to consult okubebuzaako. On this day and this day I was in places of worship. The good thing, politicians have no religion. I'm not saying they don't have religion, but because when you get in parliament, you represent all. N'abasamize. Because they are also voting for you. We've seen many.
Indeed.
Now, a politician will go to the mosque when they are not Muslims. And it's not of an offense, like Julie, if I found you at Old Kampala, I would say, Muchala Musisi, what are you doing here? If you're not there for journalistic purposes. Because also the world must excuse us as journalists. When you find me in a place you don't expect me to be there, I'm there for journalistic purposes. I'm on a mission, I'm on duty. Now, if I found you at Old Kampala, I would wonder. But a politician will go in a mosque, he will have a front, not seat because there are no seats there, but at least he'll be on the front row.
Yeah.
He'll even be given a time to speak. A politician will go to a church if he's a Muslim. We've seen them when canvassing for votes. So, have you consulted that area? A politician, we need to see them consult. We want to be part and feel that, yes.
Right. Now, very soon we'll be connecting to Parliament to definitely continue showing you the flamboyance of the parliamentary grounds with the different MPs who are swearing in today. That is the last batch for the 12th August House beginning in just a bit. But Robert, quickly, in your view, looking forward to the 12th Parliament, has quite a number of young people. I must say the youngest being Lenia Charity Kevin, 24 years, MP Vura County. And the other that follows is Robert Maseruka, 25 years, Mukono South District also. These have served on the guild presidency of Makerere in their different tenures. And of course, we also have the oldest MPs. If you look at the likes of retired General Moses Ali, they are 87 years. Do you think with a bridge which is quite evident of young and the old, there will be some form of tables shaken to bring Parliament to accountability, especially when it comes to attendance? Or the old will bully the young?
Now, I must have been disappointed when it comes to young members of Parliament. Those youthful ones. For a long time, I've been following right from the 10th, followed. So they have not delivered. Their predecessors, this is a new flock. That's when I look at the likes of Joe Sonia, I'm very proud of them.
Right.
Most of them, they get lost in excitement. Look at Bashir Kazibwe. Honorable Bashir Kazibwe. What did Kazibwe do in Parliament? No wonder I didn't contest.
Did he ever attend?
I don't know. I can list, I don't want to mention people's names, yeah? It's not proper. But the young MPs, the old guards have proven value. Proven value.
Right.
But I think and some, okay, now look at Judge Karuhanga when he was in his youthful stage. That quite, of course, he bounced back. But when you look at them, their time, and since they left, the youth that have come in there, I don't know, there's a problem. So my trust is not in these young. I'll be shocked if they do really so much, but at least with these older men and women of experience, I've seen them reason better, handle themselves better. The youth have always wanted to resort to violence. Defiance, say they want, there's that. You know?
I'm looking at President Museveni's new term, No Sleep. And he has quite a number of young cadres in Parliament as well. And in his speech, you heard him say that he's relying so much on the Gen Zs, of which these young cadres are Gen Zs. 24, 25, those are really, it's definitely a Gen Z era.
The biggest challenge.
So do you think that he's going to empower them so much so that they'll actually deliver on the floor of Parliament and perhaps rise up with a wave or some form of revolution on the floor of Parliament that will bring the older guard to book when it comes to attendance and being active in everything regarding Parliament?
These young MPs, some of them have so much that gets on them when they get to Parliament. The old guards have been there. They've also amassed some good wealth.
Right.
These ones come in, some of them, not all, with a lot of they're not settled. They want to be everywhere, yet nowhere. They are running to media. So, personally, this is my personal opinion.
Right.
Basing on what I've seen so far. I'm not that very much into. I think the old guards have to, these young MPs have to be mentored. Let me use that word.
Right.
Mentored by the old guards. Now, when we see Gerard Biaruhanga, that name disturbs me, bouncing back. He should mentor. Some of those should mentor that when we were in Parliament, at your age,
indeed,
this is what we did.
Indeed.
Rather, sometimes
now,
they are lost in the clouds.
And now, at the Parliament right now, they are singing the national anthem, as you can see on your screen, so that officially the last batch of members-elect of Parliament take their oath and eventually start to serve the 12th August House. And at about 10 minutes on to 8 a.m., let's connect to Parliament and follow the events on there. Good morning.